Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to Temple Emeth and to our Shabbat Evening Service. We are here in the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary in Teaneck, New Jersey. If you are watching us on live stream, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our service. And just a couple of notes so that you can be a full participant in our service. First of all, the prayer book that we're going to use is Mishkan Tefillah for Youth. And if you don't have a copy of Mishkan Tefillah for Youth at home, you can still access one by going, preferably on a second device, to our live stream page at emeth.org/livestream, scrolling down to where it says to access the Siddur prayer book, and then clicking on the link that says Mishkan Tefillah for Youth. That will open up a new page where you will see our Siddur in flipbook format, in a digital format, and you'll be able to follow along with all of the prayers and all of the songs and all of the page numbers of our service. Also, if you're watching us on live stream, I hope you'll take a moment right now to post a comment in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. Maybe your name, maybe your location, maybe something as simple as Shabbat Shalom. But by doing that, we know that you're there and your fellow online worshipers know that you're there, and we form bonds of virtual community in that way. If you are here in the sanctuary, I want to say Shabbat Shalom and Bruchim Habaim to you. We're still using Mishkan Tefillah for Youth, so if you didn't pick up a copy on your way in, they're not in the seats in front of you. So if you don't have a copy in your hand, it means you have to step out of the sanctuary, look on the right side on that table, and pick up a copy. It looks like this, and you want to make sure that you have a book so that you're able to follow along with our service. We begin our service this evening with our Shabbat candle blessing. The Shabbat candle blessing is found in Mishkan Tefillah for Youth on page 4, and this evening, our candle blessing will be led by Temple member Karen Zisk.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Like wine.
I have to introduce you.
Sorry.
You have to be ready, although I appreciate your enthusiasm. We continue now with the Shabbat Evening Kiddush, which is found on page 6 of the Siddur, preceded by an opening reading. And I ask, please rise if you are able as we continue with the Kiddush. We call upon Lindsay Skiana for the honor. Okay, now we're ready.
Like wine, Shabbat is sweet. We lift this cup to celebrate the love of family and the joy of living. We sing the Kiddush and taste the wine to remind us that Shabbat is a day of sweetness and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Peri Hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ava uv'ratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron le'ma'aseh v'reishit. Ki liyom techila le'migrai kodesh. Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen l'chaim.
Please be seated. We continue now with an opening song. It is not found in the Siddur because we think you can handle it even if you're learning the words right now. Please join us as together we sing Bim Bam, Shabbat Shalom.
Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam.
We turn now in the Siddur to page 22, which is where we find the Baruch Hu. You will know that you're on the right page. Well, not only will it say 22 in the corner, but it will have a large letter bet holding a Siddur right up to its face, maybe very similar to how you're holding your Siddur. And then once you see that you're on the right page, I ask you if you're able to please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ay la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We remain standing as we turn to pages 34 and 35. They are the yellow pages with the large letter Shin. If you look closely, each branch of the letter Shin is a mezuzah, which is the little box that we put on the side of the doorway. And if you look closely at each mezuzah, you'll see another little letter Shin. And the letter Shin is the first letter of the Shema. So we join together now in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'ayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha ve'ayu letotafot beinenecha u'chtavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We turn now to page 38 in the Siddur where we sing Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha is a song of miracles. This song was first sung by our ancestors as they escaped Egypt, as they crossed through the Red Sea from slavery to freedom, and they called out in God's name. We sing this song and we associate it with Passover, which is over a month away. But our next holiday is Purim. Purim draws upon the story from the book of Esther. And in the book of Esther, God's name is never mentioned, and yet there's still a miracle. The wicked, I won't say his name, but the wicked character in the book is defeated. The Jews survive, and they celebrate. There's no record of them singing this song because different words fit different occasions. They do sing, they do give each other gifts, and they celebrate their freedom. And so whether it is the way our ancestors in the book of Esther celebrated, or whether it is the way our ancestors at the shore of the sea celebrated, we understand the significance of miracles in our history. And we turn now to page 38 to sing this song of miracles. Please join us as we sing Mi Chamocha.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ay la la ya la 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh norati hilot osei vele Nora tehilot osefele Malechutecha ra'u vanecha Okei hayam lifnei Moshe Ze Elianu ve'amra Ze Elianu ve'amera Adonai yimloch le'olam Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la. ונאמר כבד אדוני את יעקב גומר חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
We turn now to page 98. Well, we saw a large letter bet for the Baruch Hu. We saw a large letter shin for the Shema. I didn't mention at the time, but there was a large letter mem for mi chamocha. And now we get to the Amidah. And for the Amidah, we sing Avot v'imahot. The word Avot begins with an aleph. So on the facing page, there's a crown on top of an aleph. I'm pretty sure that's for Avot. I'm not sure what the samach is for, but since there's a sidur, a prayer book sitting on top of it, I'm going to go for the samach is for sidur. Work with me here. And so you'll know you're on the right page when you see a samach holding a sidur and an aleph wearing a crown. Please rise if you are able for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tivtachu v'yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Akol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mivi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer, U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah.
We remain standing as we turn to page 103. Please read with me in English. O God, as we remember all you do, we make this promise to try to be like you. We will work to raise up those who fall, heal those who are sick, free those who are in need. As your partners, we will support the poor, feed the hungry, house the homeless, befriend the lonely, and give hope to all people. We will be caring Jews. As you have helped us live better lives, we shall help others. We praise you, O God, who gives meaning to our lives. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. We turn now to page 104 and we read together at the top of the page. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Our next prayer is found on page 114. It is a prayer for peace. It is important at all times that we, the Jewish people, pray for peace, but especially in time of conflict, as we see is in the world at this time. So I invite you to read with me in English at the top of the page. Grant true and lasting peace to your people Israel, for you are the ruler and source of all peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel with peace always, at every moment and in every hour. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, ba'shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. We take a moment now for Tefillat Halev, an opportunity to offer to God the prayer of our hearts. Inspirational readings for this moment of silence are found on pages 116 and 117. It is my pleasure to invite to the bima Maura Marla's kindergarten class. They have prepared a song for us at this time. Thank you, and Yasher Koach to our kindergartners. I've been waiting 3 months to hear this song because weather prevented us from hearing it in both January and February. It was totally worth the wait. Thank you, and Yasher Koach to our kindergarten class and to Maura Marla. We are going to continue our service now on page 121 of our Siddur, page 121, with our service for the reading of the Torah, Seder Kriyat HaTorah. This is our Torah. Its words are the same ones that our parents and our grandparents read. In all times and all places, its words never change. May our children and grandchildren and their children and grandchildren read its words as well. In this scroll is everything that has made the Jewish people special from Mount Sinai until today. Torah teaches us love and justice, goodness and hope and freedom. Please rise if you are able as we take the Torah from the Ark.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenaton Torah, Torah, Baruch shenaton Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael b'kdushatu. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Gadlu l'Adonai iti u'nirah b'mo shemo yachdav. Al shlosha divarim, al shlosha divarim, שלושה דברים עליו עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים עליו עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. We have to get to the three things.
Yes, there's a certain choreography. So first of all, if you're watching at home, you may be seated. Everyone in the sanctuary got that cue like 30 seconds ago. But so what the cantor and I are laughing at is that each honoree has a different pace with which they undress the Torah, and we have lots of Torah undressing music, though some honorees like the Eastmans don't need it all. That having been said, that song is a unit. The first half means the world rests on three things. And the Eastmans finished dressing the Torah, yes, and we could have stopped the song halfway, but you cannot sing a song, the world rests on three things, and then not sing what those three things are.
I didn't want to leave them with a Friday night cliffhanger.
Right. I mean, if that would get them to come back tomorrow, I would do it. But I think it was better that we finish the song. So just so you know, the three things are Torah, worship, and deeds of loving kindness. So now you know. Okay, where were we? Oh, I was going to say something about the Torah portion. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Pekudei, and it is the end, the last Torah portion in the book of Exodus. If you would like to follow along as we read from Parshat Pekudei, if you're here in the sanctuary, you can take the large Torah commentary book and turn to page 682. And if you are watching at home and you have a copy of the revised Torah commentary, you can follow along on page 629. There are 4 Torah portions in the book of Exodus that talk in one way or another about building this sacred space, which in Hebrew is called the Mishkan and in English is called the Tabernacle. First, we have to learn what the things are that are needed, and we have to learn how they're going to be donated. We have to learn what the things are that the priests, the people who serve in this sacred space, will wear. We have to learn that they actually, collected and used all these materials. And finally, when we get to Parshat Pekudei, we learn that all of these things that were donated were put to the right purpose. And then finally, that they put everything together the way that God commanded. And so we are going to hear from Exodus chapter 39, beginning with verse 1. As I mentioned, one of the things that we heard about earlier is what the priests wear. And here in this Torah portion, we're going to hear that indeed their elaborate garments were put together just as God commanded, using all of these materials. To read the Torah this evening is Amanda Eastman, known to many people in this room as Mora Amanda. Mora Amanda, you don't have like a tagline yet, like Mora Dora does, but we'll work on that. And Mora Amanda, when she came to practice, because even for someone as experienced as Mora Amanda, practice makes better. I don't want to set the bar, beyond what we expect, but practice makes better. And when she came to practice, so that she would be very good, she said she was supposed to read this 2 years ago at this time, and we had just shut down, and she didn't get the chance to read this 2 years ago. And so good things come to those who wait, both to Mora Amanda, who waited 2 years to come back and volunteer to do this, and to all of you who get to hear her chant the Torah this evening. And so she's going to chant Torah, and her parents, Rachel and Mike Eastman, are going to honor the Torah by offering the blessings. Okay. Let me get my book. Well, if you all live under the same roof, you can have your glasses on.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Umin ha'techaelet v'ha'argaman v'talat hashani asu v'gdei sirad l'sharet b'kodesh v'ya'asu et b'gdei ha'kodesh asher le'aharon ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe v'yas et ha'ephod zahav Techelet v'argaman v'talat shani v'sheish moshzar v'yirak'u et pachei hazahav v'kitzeitz petilim la'asot b'toch ha'techelet uv'toch ha'argaman uv'toch talat hashani uv'toch ha'sheish ma'asei choshev Kitefot asu lo chofrot al shnei kitzotav chubar v'cheshev afudato asher alav mimenu hu k'ma'asehu zahav Techelet v'argaman v'talat shani v'sheish moshtar ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lanu Torat Emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
This time our thoughts turn to those in need of healing as we prepare to offer a Mishaberach, a prayer for healing, which is found in the Sidur on page 125. If you are thinking of someone in need of healing, you'd like to share their name out loud or in your heart, I invite you to do so at this time. If you're watching us on live stream and you're thinking of someone in need of healing, I invite you to share their name in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. As a congregation, we call to mind our members and the loved ones of our members who are in need of healing. You will see their names on the screen in just a moment. We turn now to page 125 and we join together in singing the Mishaberach.
Mikor habracha li'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal Spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue now with the lifting and dressing of the Torah. Please rise if you are able for Hagba and Galila.
V'zot ha'Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it. All its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it. All its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Please be seated. You guys can go down. Nice job. Yasher Kach. It is now my pleasure to invite to the Bima anyone with a birthday in the month of March. Oh, you left for no reason. Anyone with a birthday in the month of March, come on up. It is time for you to receive a birthday blessing. And you know what? The weather forced our February service to be virtual. So if your birthday was in February and you only got a blessing through the internet, that's not as good as an in-person blessing. So come on up for your February birthday blessing too. Well, for everyone who is celebrating a birthday in the month of March or catching up from our February Zoom service, it is my pleasure on behalf of your Temple family to wish you a happy birthday. It's true, it's not like getting a birthday wish at the State of the Union, but I hope that it is the next best thing. And so I hope that as you begin a new year of your life, it is an opportunity for reflection on all you've accomplished in the year that's ended in your life, and for hopes and aspirations and dreams for the year, the new chapter that is beginning in your life. And I hope most of all that this next year is filled with presents, not just the presents that people hand to you in celebration, but also the presence of family and the presence of God. And in that spirit, the cantor and I would like to offer this blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka.
May God's light shine down upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's Spirit lift you up, and may God give you shalom, the gift of peace, now and always. And let us say,
Amen.
We join together first in Hebrew and then in English. Let's hear it, Tom.
What key is that? Oh. I did not know where that was going. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Dear
everybody.
February. Happy birthday
to you. Oh my gosh.
Mazel tov to our birthday people. You may return to your seat.
Day. Tom Mustachio, he's here every week.
Okay, well, Purim is only about a week and a half away, so maybe there are people in this room who are thinking about their costume and what they're going to wear on Purim. Oh, that reminds me, Cantor, my costume arrived.
Did you get it?
Yes,
Okay,
I
good.
want to show it to you after the service.
Okay,
Make sure
good.
it meets your approval.
Awesome.
And so I have a story to share about, not just about choosing a costume, but more about what it means to think for oneself and what it means to be a hero. And so this story is called The Purim Superhero. It is written by Elizabeth Kushner and illustrated by Mike Byrne. Okay, and with any luck, the book will be shown not only here next to me, but also on the screen. We'll see how that goes. What are you going to be for Purim? Max whispered to Nate during Hebrew school. I want to be an alien, Nate whispered back. All the boys in class are going to be superheroes, said Max. All the boys? Nate asked. Yep, Max answered. Nate picked up a green marker and drew antenna on his Mordecai mask. That is definitely not the right thing, but don't worry. We have our top people working on it. All right. Nate loved aliens. He loved to draw them. He loved to read about them. Sometimes at night, he looked out the window and wished for aliens to come to the backyard and tell him about other planets. And here is Nate. I don't know if you can see him from there, but he is looking out his window. I assume this is a dream because the alien has 3 eyeballs. And, I don't know if you can do this in real life, and he opened the top of his spaceship to say hello. I'm worried about the wind drafts in the alien space. Okay, so time to turn the page and to continue with the story. That night at dinner, the family talked about Purim costumes. Will you make me a rock star costume? Miri asked Abba, one of her dads. Sure, said Abba. How about you, Nate? Nate's mouth was full of chicken soup, so he couldn't answer right away. Nate really wants to be a superhero, said Miri. He said so in carpool. Really? Said Daddy. I was all ready to make you an alien costume, said Abba. Nate scrunched up his face. I don't know, he said. Better decide soon, said Abba. I'll need time to sew. All week, Nate thought about his Purim costume and how much he liked aliens. He thought about being the only boy who wouldn't be a superhero. I'll be a superhero too, he told Max the next Sunday. Which one? Asked Max. I'm going to be Batman, Ethan will be Superman, and Sam and Noah are deciding. You have to pick one too. I have to pick? Said Nate. Yep, said Max. That night, Abba's scissors snip, snip, snipped, cutting out Miri's rock star outfit. Did you choose your costume? He asked Nate. Nate shook his head. Max said I need to be a superhero. Is Max your boss? Abba asked. All the boys are going to be superheroes, said Nate. You know, Abba said, not all boys have to be the same thing. Nate thought about how most kids had a mom and dad, not a daddy and an Abba. Abba, Nate asked, do you ever just want to be like everybody else? Abba looked at Nate. You know the Purim story, Abba said. Queen Esther saved the Jews because she didn't hide who she was. She told King Ahasuerus she was Jewish and that her people were in danger. Sometimes showing who you really are makes you stronger, even if you're different from other people. Nate didn't think being different would make him stronger. He thought it would make him lonely, but he would miss being an alien. Daddy, Nate asked at bedtime, how many superheroes are there? Daddy was a teacher. He would know. Lots, said Daddy, and people keep making up more. You can make them up? Sure, said Daddy. A hero is someone brave and strong on the outside or on the inside. Like Queen Esther, said Nate. Exactly, said Daddy. And a superhero is just a hero with special powers. Nate switched off the light. His brain was buzzing with ideas. I mean, we've been talking about aliens and superheroes. Now all of a sudden he's sleeping and he's thinking of pirate. This kid's all over the place. What do you think he's going to land on for his Purim costume? Let's find out. Last chance to make your Purim costume, said Abba the next day. It's a surprise, said Nate. If I tell you what I need, can you sew it? Absolutely, said Abba. Daddy, said Nate, if I need things for my costume, can you buy them for me? Sure, said Daddy. Miri, said Nate, if I need words for my costume, can you write them down? What words? Asked Miri. Nate told her. That evening, Nate came downstairs holding a paper bag. My costume's a surprise, he said. I'll put it on when we get to synagogue. When they arrived, Rabbi Joni was getting ready to read the Megillah. Max was dressed like Batman and waving his grogger. The other boys from class had superhero costumes too. Now you might notice that Rabbi Joni in the story is dressed up as full clown, makeup, red nose, orange hair. And I just want to say this. The cantor has asked me to dress up as all kinds of crazy things over the years, but cantor, tell him thank you for never asking me to dress up as a clown. And I think that it would just strike too close to home for me. Okay, let's move on with our story. Nate went into the bathroom. He pulled out the alien suit Abba had sewed and the antenna and mask Daddy had bought. He taped on the big badge he had written with words Miri had written. He unfolded a green towel and tied it around his neck for a cape. Remember, this is a kid who loves aliens, but he thought all of his friends were going to be superheroes. What did he end up being? Let's find out. When he was ready, Nate slipped into the costume parade. Time for prizes, called Rabbi Joni. Miri won most glamorous. Max and Ethan and Sam and Noah all won most heroic. Every kid had a prize except Nate. Had Rabbi Joni forgotten him? But then she waved him to come up front, and the award for most original goes to Nate. Please take a bow and tell us about your costume. Well, said Nate, like my badge says, I'm super alien. Super alien has special powers that allow him to fly to Earth from another planet without a spaceship. He's brave, and he's a hero. I've never seen a super alien before, said Rabbi Joni. That's very original. Abba and Daddy and Miri clapped and smiled big smiles. Afterward, at the carnival, Nate ran to the beanbag toss. Ethan was there too. I like your costume, said Ethan. Aliens are cool. I should have been Super Puppy. I love puppies. He put a beanbag on his head. Next Purim, let's be whatever we want. Maybe next Purim, I'll be a puppy alien. Nate put a beanbag on his head too. And go, beep, woof. The beanbag fell off. Ethan grinned. Woof, beep, he said. And he and Nate both laughed. And that is the end of our story. Remember, our story is called The Purim Superhero by Elizabeth Kushner. Well, now, to conclude our story time, it is my pleasure to invite to the Bima Mora Amanda and her 2nd and 3rd and 4th grade students they have prepared a song for us.
Shalom, Elenu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Vivroma, U'ya'aseh Shalom, Elenu, ve'akol Yisrael, Shalom, Elenu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Vivroma, U'ya'aseh Shalom, Elenu, ve'akol Yisrael, Shalom, Elenu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imeru, Amen.
Great job. Thank you, and Yasher Koch to Mora Amanda's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. That was wonderful. Our service continues now with the Elenu, which is found in your Siddur on page 120. Please rise if you are able. 130, page 130. Please rise if you are able for the Elenu.
Elenu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kikoyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpchat adama, shelo samech elokenu kahem, v'gar aleinu kechol amonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn out to page 132 for a reading to introduce the mourner's Kaddish. As our service ends, we think about people whose lives have ended. Some of them we knew and they were very special to us. We loved them and we missed them very much. Others we did not know, but we honor them as well. This Shabbat, we remember those for whom we are in the Shloshim 30-day period of mourning. Erwin Kramer, former husband of Barbara Smolin. Sylvia Pollack, a member of Temple Emeth. Herb Lehman, cousin of Elise Balzer. Robert Perlis, brother of Jay Perlis. Eli Hodges, father of Emily Hodges. Jeffrey Berlin, friend of Stephanie and Robert Quate. Jacqueline Quate, sister-in-law of Stephanie and Robert Quate. Bonnie Farrell, sister of Nancy Steiner. And Frank Canali, brother of Ann Packles. We remember as well those whose yahrzeits occurred this week. Morton Alperin, Jack Antonoff, Louis Berman, Joseph Bomsey, Rose Cohen, Harold Esterson, Betty Fettner, Benjamin Friedman, Yolanda Goodfried, Ted Gorley, Rose Green, Harry Gutfleisch, Jack Hausman, Julius Heilbrunn, Michael Helfgott, David Cohane, Milton Levy, Lydia Ann Libero, Herman L. Mash, Henry Charles Metzger, Carol Miller, Florence Miller, Harry Nelson, Howard Pape, Vivian Plotzker, Neil David Pollock, Sidney Rosenfeld, Kenneth Rostkowski, Mitchell Saltzman, Jack Sparrow, Frida Newberg-Sturm, Ruben Teitelbaum, Frida Toe, Frederick Fred Towers, Alan Zark, and Henrietta Zuckerman. And we remember the names of 6 of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust: Celia Weinberg, Rosa Gorfine, Misha Taub, Sheva Abramovich, Nessia Spialter, and Naftali Kugler. We remember them all. We take them into our hearts with our own as we turn now to page 134 and we join together in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'yizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam ulomei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei d'kudsha b'rechu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim Elenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Elenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. As I was reading the names for Yahrzeit, I mentioned the name David Cohane. David, we're observing his first Yahrzeit this evening, and he was loved and respected by many, many Temple members, and there were many children who grew up in this congregation knowing him as Guitar Dave. When he played the role of Guitar Dave, one of his favorite songs to lead was Shalom Rav. And so at this time, in memory of David Cohane, it's my pleasure to call upon Cantor Tillum and Thomas Dascio to lead us in singing Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Adon L'chol Hashalom. Ki Ata Melech Adon L'chol Hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
It is my pleasure this time to call upon Danielle Foyer, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shabbat greetings and announcements. Okay, you got all the color coding down?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So nice to see everybody. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our family Shabbat service. I'm just going to tell you now, it's a little lengthy, so here we go. I'm happy to announce that the Temple's COVID protocols will be changing on Monday, March 7th, so that masking will be optional at Temple activities where everyone is vaccinated. Please look for an email from Temple President Michael Robinson for more details, and I think that went out earlier today. Temple Emeth will be observing Refugee Shabbat tomorrow morning, Saturday, March 5th. At 9 o'clock, our topic for Torah study on Zoom will be text relating to the treatment of the stranger and the refugee. At our Shabbat morning service at 10:30 a.m., Temple members Ina Miller-Silverstein, Alyssa Sandler, and Lynn Chaikin will update us on the work of the Northern New Jersey Sanctuary Coalition, of which Temple Emeth is a member. Refugee Shabbat is a project of Highest, of which Temple Emeth is a welcome congregation. Meanwhile, Bergen County's Reformed congregations are preparing for Purim with a weekend of inspiring collaborative events next weekend. The most important part of this for our families is that we're invited to go to Temple Amidah Shalom for an amazing Purim carnival on Sunday, March 13th at 10 a.m. Our students in grades K through 7 should come to religious school that day from 9 to 10, and then you're going to have an early dismissal so everyone can go to River Edge for the carnival. Woohoo! Please RSVP by using the link in the email that was sent to you. Okay, and again, more about Purim. This year's Purim service and Megillah reading on Wednesday, March 16th at 7 p.m. will follow our adult service COVID protocols. That means that everyone entering the building must show proof of COVID vaccination. If you have your vaccine card or a photo of it with you this evening, our greeter, Alan Winters, Alan, there you go, will be happy to record it and issue you a bracelet if you haven't done so already. If not, please send in your vaccine info as soon as possible, and this will help us prepare for the holiday. Finally, I hope you'll join us for our second night Passover Seder on Saturday, April 16th. After 2 years of celebrating on Zoom, we're planning to celebrate together in person. Again, I say woohoo! Attendance is limited to Temple Emeth members and their families. COVID protocols in effect at that time will apply. To ensure our minimum registration for the Seder, we must have 35 paid reservations submitted by March 27th. You can make your reservation at emeth.org/event/Seder. Please see details in the weekly email. And finally, thank you to this evening's volunteers in the live stream control room. Pauline Hecht and Barbara Balkin are at the controls tonight. And I just want to say it's so nice to see everybody, to see all the new faces and families here, and all the religious school students. You sound absolutely lovely singing. And of course, Amanda, you're amazing as always. And Shabbat Shalom.
I just want to mention one extra thing about the Purim Carnival that Danielle told us about at Temple Amidah Shalom in River Edge on March 13th. They actually bring in professional carnival people. So they're going to have the bouncy house and some of the other things that we at Temple Emeth have never been able to provide for you. So it is going to be a fabulous Purim Carnival. So come to religious school that day, and then definitely plan to go to the Purim Carnival afterwards, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, while Danielle was telling us about our upcoming events, the cantor assembled Eitz Chaim, our junior choir, on the steps of the Bima. So we are ready to hear two wonderful songs, one held over from the bad weather service and one prepared specially for this evening as we get ready for Purim.
Well, I think we held this song over. We've been learning it now for 2 services, and we're finally getting to sing it. This is Psalm 126, Shir Hamalot, a beautiful song. And then we'll sing a special Purim song. But first of all, I do want to say quickly a couple of things. Junior choir, everybody's welcome to sing with us on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. There's singing, snacks, and prizes, and a lot of fun, and a little bit of crazy time at the beginning while we get our sillies out. And so I want to thank Rachel Kogelmas, who is our choir mom. She's incredibly helpful and makes sure that we all get a good snack every week, and sometimes even dinner. She's amazing. I want to thank Emma Foyer. She's my teen madricha helper with junior choir this year. She's incredible and energetic, and we love having her, and she does great hand motions for all the songs. And I want to say one thing. I'm going to embarrass Mia for 1 minute. This is my second time having a student in my junior choir who I actually bar mitzvahed their parent. So 20 years ago, Alex May became bar mitzvah, and this is Alex and Joleni's daughter. We're so glad to have her here. But oh my, I've been here too long. Okay, so we're very excited to sing for you. The first song we're going to do is a round, so you'll see us all get into different parts and start singing. Okay, guys, you ready for Shir Hamalot? Good. Okay. Okay, you know your groups, right? But we're going to sing together first, anyway.
Shir Hamalot, Shiru Adonai, et Shabbat Zion, Hayinu Kehomi. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umre Roma, Shabbat Shalom, Umre Roma. Ready, this group? Shir Hamalot, Shiru Adonai, et Shabbat Zion, Hayinu Kehomi. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Keep going. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Umre Roma, Shabbat Shalom, Umre Roma.
Beautiful. That was amazing. And now one of our favorite Purim songs, and I see some Eitz Chaim alumni in the congregation who are going to fondly remember this song. Okay, I'm going to give you sheets for this. Oh yeah, and we're doing, well yeah, so here's what you'll do is you can hold your sheet if you need it and then kind of just put it on the floor, okay? Do you need, who needs their sheet? Who needs the words in front of them? You don't, you do? Sure, it's fine. That's okay. And then you can do the hand motions after. Okay, and you're going to move over next to Xander, please. You don't need a sheet. You know your part. Yes, of course. Of course. Of course, of course. There's no shame in holding the words and then putting them down for the hand motions. You want your own, Xander? Or you guys sharing? You're sharing? Good. Okay. Okay. You know your words. You're with them, and you're... Okay, good. Great. Okay. So, Ariana, you ready? Okay, good. Okay, great. Here we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I think we'll be happier. Okay, can you, Tom? Yeah.
In a place you may have heard about, in Shushan, as you know, an evil man named Haman said,
"The Jews have got to go."
Now Esther was the Jewish queen, and she knew not where to turn, till Mordecai, her cousin, said, there is something you must learn.
Oh, Esther,
You can change the
stand up. It's okay.
You can make the world complete. Take the pride you feel inside and never
I'll get them to put the down in a minute.
defeat.
Ready? 1, 2.
There's an evil plot against us now, a list of cruel demands, and Esther, only you can help. Our fate is in your hands.
She said cousin.
Do you really think that a difference I can make? A Jewish girl before the king, it could be a big mistake. Oh, Esther, you can change the world. You can make the world complete.
Take the pride you feel inside
And never accept
defeat.
Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. So
Esther went before the king, and though she was afraid, she stood up proud and spoke out loud, and her people all were saved.
good.
So now we read the Megillah at Purim time each year, and learn how God can give us strength to overcome our fears.
Remember, you can change the world. You can make the world complete. Take the pride you feel inside and never accept defeat. You can change the world. You guys, you can make the world complete. Take the pride you feel inside and never accept defeat.
Great job. Okay, go ahead down. You did great. You did so good. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Eitz Chaim. We have just about reached the end of our service. I did want to make a quick announcement about our Oneg Shabbat. So there is food waiting for us in just a second, but because we're on our family service rules, we can't take off our masks and eat it inside. I know it's a little chilly out. I brought my heavy jacket. I'll eat my cookie outside with you if you want to eat your cookie outside with me. But we're not going to eat inside yet at this service. Sorry about that. If you've been watching us on live stream, perhaps you want to enter something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform before we go. Maybe Yasher Koach to our Torah reader, Amanda Eastman. Maybe a wonderful job to any of our young people who sang, or a happy birthday to someone in your life who's celebrating their birthday in the month of March. Any of that is appropriate, but only for the next few moments, because as we conclude our service, we now turn to one another and we say, Shabbat Shalom.